So once again, good morning. So the reason why I stopped you from building the blocks, from continuing to build the blocks, sometimes when our children do something, and for us it may seem disinteresting, boring, irrelevant, but when we stop them, imagine how bad they feel. Right now the parents were making the blocks, and when I told them to stop, did you like it? Did you like it? Did you like it? You found it offensive, right? So imagine your kids sometimes doing something, let's say building blocks or playing with toys, and you just come and snatch those toys away and run away. Yes, sometimes I understand they have to study or there's a time limit for everything, but you can do something with love. I could have easily come and say, you know, when you are done with your blocks, now you go and stand. When you are done with your blocks, go take your seat. But I didn't do that. I just said, stop, bus. Or sometimes we break the toys or we break the, you know. So my subject for today, confidence, instilling confidence in your child. So there was an article released by the Working Mother website on the 24th of September 2012, titled 10 tips on how to build confidence in your child. Now, I'll not mention all 10, I'll mention 4. And number 1, it says give praise where praise is due. So when your child does something good, excels in school, or gets an award in sports, praise the effort of your child. See, like, you praise him for coming up front. Our future public speaker, inshallah. Okay, so because they may do something really good, but they don't know the worth of what they have done until you tell them, you elaborate the achievements, you tell them that you know what, you've done really well in school, you've done really well in sports, you won best swimmer, so you're supposed to appreciate their efforts, appreciate what they've done. And as Sumaya said, I'll just further elaborate, that don't compare your child with another person's child. How many have heard of Sharma Ji Ka Ladka? Sharma Ji Ka Ladka is that sometimes, let's say your child scores 99%, and Sharma Ji Ka Ladka, he scores 100%. Now what your child has done, it goes into water. Because then the parents sometimes they compare. They say, oh, Sharma Ji's son got 100% and you got 99%. Why can't you be like Sharma Ji? So why do you have to say that? 99% isn't less of an achievement. So appreciate what your child does. And if your child is not as good as others in certain things, he may be really good at other things. So if your child is not good at mathematics, maybe he's gifted in English. Maybe right now you see that your child is not performing well in subjects such as science, math, English. Maybe in future he's going to be an economist. He's going to be really good at business. So don't compare your children. And further than that, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Who has heard of Ralph Waldo Emerson? Okay, so he's an essayist, a poet, and he was a champion in individualism. So one of his quotes, he says, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make something else is the greatest accomplishment, trying to make you into something else. So the greatest accomplishment for your child isn't to become the best author, isn't to become the greatest sportsman, no, it's to become himself or herself. That is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson says that the world will constantly try to change you, to amend you. Will tell you that, you know what, there is no scope for law, there is no scope for mathematics. No, but what if you are good at that particular subject? So allow your children to be themselves, guide them wherever there is a requirement, but all in all, let them be themselves. That's number 1. Give praise when praise is due and do not make comparison. Number 2, teach resilience. Can somebody explain me the definition of resilience? Resilience, anyone? By resilience?
I think when your child can overcome a certain situation
Okay, very good. Anybody else to add on? Said it all? Okay, said it all. So, you will not succeed at everything in life. You will encounter failures. You will undergo trials and tribulations. How many of, us, but I'll ask the audience, how many of you have never failed in your life in anything? Whether it be cooking or in a school, anywhere. How many of you have never failed in life? All of us have failed, right? At something we have not succeeded. So, tell your children if they do fail, if they do face hurdles, that they shouldn't live in the past and focus on their failures. No, they should move on. They should focus on the future and use those hurdles as a learning curve. Then now we have failed, but next time inshallah we will not fail. Or if they fail at a certain thing, then now you should tell them no, now move into something else. If you have not done well in mathematics, okay, focus on English. Focus on other subjects. If you're not very good at cricket, maybe you'll do very well at football. So, when you think about your childhood, what do you think about? When you contemplate your childhood, what do you imagine? School? Okay. Playing in the slides? Playing in your neighborhood? Friends? Okay. Anybody else here? Okay. So I thought someone would say cartoons. Or Disney. Or you hardly watch any cartoons. So I used to watch a lot of cartoons as well. Imagine your childhood without Disney. I mean, sometimes you can't imagine. Like, imagine your childhood without Disney. Now let's talk about Disney, Walt Disney. Let's give a bit of a description of him. Age 22, Disney was fired from a Missouri newspaper company. He was told to get out. Why? Because they said he wasn't creative enough. Before he became successful, Disney was fired in a Missouri newspaper company. He was told, please leave. You aren't creative enough. We have better people to work for us. So he left. Not only that, he opened a venture called Laugh-O-Gram Studios. It went super flop. Nobody liked it. And then what happened to Disney? He strived, he struggled, he learned from his failures. What happened to Disney? He went to win 32 Academy Awards, and there is no one who has won as many Oscars as Disney. What exactly do we learn from the life of Disney? You strive and struggle to succeed, to be prosperous. You don't succeed at everything in the beginning. Don't think that, oh, by just taking a bat and a ball, you'll be Sachin Tendulkar. Or by taking a football goal, you'll kick the ball and you're suddenly Cristiano Ronaldo. You need practice. You need to learn from your failures. Therefore, allow your children to fail, allow your children to make mistakes. If your child comes in front, he has a performance in school, he has to give a presentation, but he's not as good. No, still praise the effort of your child. Guide him, tell him that no, you can do better here, but you did very well. Who likes KFC from here? Okay, so I like KFC too, but I think McDonald's is better. But we'll talk about Colonel Sanders, Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. Who knows the long form of KFC? Wow. So he was 5 years of age, his father passed away. Not only that, age 16, he became a school quitter. He left school. 17 years of age, he was fired from 4 jobs. Fired from 4 jobs, that's not a good resume to have. I've been removed from 4 jobs. And age 20, his wife also left him. He got married and his wife left him at a very early age, at a tender age of 20. So now he became a cook in a small restaurant. He became a little successful. He convinced his wife to come back. He said, now I'm fine, I'm settled. The wife came back. Age 65, he thought of retiring. And one fine day, he said, I'm going to commit suicide. So he said he was going to write his will. You know, sometimes people write suicide, they leave that message that, you know, I'm dying, I'm leaving this world. So he started writing his will. Suddenly he said that, you know what, instead of writing my will, why don't I write my ambitions from today? I'm a good cook, I can use this skill. So he said that, you know what, I'll become a billionaire, I'll open my own company, I'll open my own restaurant, it will be very successful. So he had that goal. So what did he do? He borrowed $87, started frying chicken, went door to door. Imagine Colonel Sanders went door to door and said, you know what, buy this chicken from me. It's really tasty, it's really good. Age 88, he became a billionaire. An empire was set by him, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. But initially he failed. Until age 65 he failed. So, learn from your failure. That's number 2. Number 3, support their pursuit of a passion. Sometimes their passions may disinterest you. If they are good at swimming, you may say, what's the point of learning swimming? What's the point of learning football? What's the point of being a speaker? If your child talks too much, that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. Maybe they'll become future public speakers. Maybe they can become good teachers, because teachers talk a lot, don't they? So if your child talks a lot, encourage him to talk a lot. Not saying don't limit, you can limit, but that's a good thing or a bad thing. So who's watched the movie Tare Zameen Par? And for those who haven't watched, I'd recommend this movie. It's a really good movie, a very touching movie. It's about a child who goes to school, but he has no interest whatsoever in what the teachers say. No interest in any subjects. He wanders out of school sometimes, walks alone in the city, doesn't know what's going on, and the parents really dislike what their child is doing. He's not focused in school at all. He's taken to a boarding school forcefully, and then he meets a very friendly teacher called Amir Khan. Sometimes teachers have a huge impact in your life. You may not be aware, but they do. So he found out that this boy may not be good in any of the subjects, but he's an amazing artist. So Amir Khan, in the movie, he purposely arranges an art competition and this boy wins because he's too good. Nobody can reach his status in terms of artistic work. He wins and he calls the parents and he says, look, you were not focused on your child's skill. You did not allow him to specialize. So if your child is good in psychology, allow him or her to specialize like Sumaya. Or if your child is good at oncology, allow them to specialize. Let them do what they like. Allow them to pursue their passions. That's number 3. Number 4 is my final point of today. This is the most important. Coach relationship skills. Relationship with who? With parents, with friends, and with their relatives as well, with society at large. So there are 3 steps here we need to follow. Step number 1. Of course, the child, when he or she is born, he or she is the closest to the mother, to the parents, to the mother. Number 1, the mother, yes. This reminds me of a saying from the Prophet Muhammad. He was once asked, who's more important, the mother or the father? So the Prophet said, mother. He was asked then, he says mother. And then he says mother. And then the father. So basically the mother gets the gold medal, the silver medal, and the bronze medal. The father has to be satisfied with the mere consolation prize. But fathers are also very important as well. We have one father right there looking at me. The father. Absolutely. But fathers are important too. Huh? The Prophet himself was a father. So, we still have one committed father. So I think all of us first will need to. So have a friendly relationship with your child. I remember me, my childhood and until today, I always share everything with my parents. Whatever happens, the tiniest details, I find it very comfortable to share it with my parents. If I'm kicked out of a classroom, I tell my mom and my dad. If I don't do well in a test, I share with them. Because I know they'll not get angry at me, they'll not intimidate me. No. Build a close relationship with your child, otherwise your child will go and find someone else to talk to. No. Why don't you be the best friend of your child? That's number 1. Have a close relationship with your child. Number 2, let him mingle with people of all races, of all cultures, of all religions. Sometimes you see that there are certain kids who are only friends with people of their community. So if he's Shia, he's only friends with Shias. If he's Sunni, he's only friends with Sunni. If he's Christian, he's only friends with Christian. No. Allow him to mingle with people of different races. But now who? I'll quote a verse from the Bible, from the 2 Kings chapter 2, verse number 2. It says that Elijah said to Elisha, that stay here, I will go to Bethel while you stay here. What reply came? Elisha said that no, so long as I am alive, so long as you are alive, I will be with you. So they both went to Bethel. What does this teach us? That teach your child that your friend should be there whenever you require it. Not only during your happy moments, but during your sad moments. So teach him or her to maintain relationship with society, but to choose the right friends. Because bad company does ruin good morals. Number 3, the final fact, the final point, uplift the lives of other children. Don't only think about your child. So today here as parents, you guys, excluding me, don't only think about your child, that my child should pass, my child should succeed. No, no, no. Our children. Our children should succeed. So we have to work together and uplift the lives of other kids. There are so many children in Tanzania itself who do not have access to food, who do not have access to education. We need to start focusing on them as well. Imagine if your child was in that state. So you need to put yourself in the shoes of other moms and think about them. And there is a narration that goes, you may say, what's the point of helping others? I won't be benefited. Let's see. In the book Jaza al-A'mal, page 115, Safinatul Bihar, volume 2, page 23, you can go and check out the references for further elaboration on this story. There was a mom, she was washing her clothes. Suddenly a beggar came, and the beggar said, please give me food. So the mom, she had her food, she gave it to the beggar. But this mom had a child next to her, a baby, 6 months old, 7 months, 8 months. She was washing her clothes. Suddenly a wolf came, took the baby, put the baby into his mouth. But he did not yet swallow the baby. What happened then? An angel came down on earth, took the baby from the wolf's mouth, returned it to the mother, and you know what the angel said? He looked towards the mom and said, a morsel for a morsel. You fed the beggar, you fed that orphan, or you fed that widow, whoever it was, you fed him. Now I have come down, sent by God to help you. So when you help others, your child will be helped, your family will be helped, so long as you uplift and enlift the life of others. Thank you very much. Thank you.
On behalf of Toddler Preschool, we'd like to thank Ejaz and Sumaya, and we have